Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. My name is of course Carboom, and today guys we're going to be checking out Ultimate Driving's brand new chassis. So the chassis is how the cars drive, and Ultimate Driving is redoing it all to make the cars hopefully drive a little bit more realistically and a little bit more fun as well. And they're letting everyone test it for absolutely free. So I'll leave that in the description below to the game where I am playing right now. So if you want to test the chassis, then you can test it right now. So up on screen right now is a few things that the new chassis will hopefully improve, which, like I said, includes more realism, better high-speed stability. That is really cool. So hopefully you won't spin out at high speeds anymore, and just a bunch of other stuff, so you can read that if you want. But we're gonna get into testing this chassis right now. So we've spawned in here on this very blank platform, and a little test map by the looks of things has been laid out for us. Obviously this is not the standard Ultimate Driving maps, any of them. This is just, by the looks of things, a map that's been thrown together that includes a lot of different stuff. It has a very long racetrack with a lot of turns, a lot of straight areas, and a little town over there. I'm not sure what town that is. It sort of looks like Westover with the houses on the beach side there. We'll have to test that out, but first off, let's go into the dealership. Let's see what cars we have to play with. It says we have 5 cars that has the new chassis, so I'm going to go into my garage, and there we go. So we have 3 right here. I'm going to be using the Ford because this is the best one that I have out of the cars that we can actually use. It's pretty nice that they give us a free car as well, so even if you don't have any cars, you can still test the chassis out with this free car. I'm going to quickly go into the dealership to show which other car. There's the other car that is a very expensive car, so that is the best car that you can use with the chassis right now in this game. But we're gonna go back into here, go back into my garage, and we're gonna get the Ford GT out. We can even use the monster truck, which I find that pretty funny. Maybe we can test that out if we still have time. So there we go. So we have the Ford GT. This is what we're gonna be using for most of the video, if not all of it. It is a pretty large map. I have tested it out just a little bit driving around to see how big this map actually was, and it's a pretty large map. But I think first of all we're going to be testing out Westover. I think it's Westover here. This is, I haven't actually seen this town, but this is probably what most people are going to be using this chassis for. Most people are just going to be driving through different towns, different areas, so we need to know what it is like just driving around in small areas in a little town. So yeah, indeed, this is Westover. So this is just standard Westover plopped right in the middle of this map right here, so you can test how it is just driving around Westover, around these tight corners, and just driving it in a normal town sort of area. And already you can definitely tell by just pressing B, it definitely spins out. Well, it definitely drifts or power slides a lot more. It feels more responsive than it did before. I'm not sure how realistic that actually is, spinning out that much, but it definitely is more responsive, and I think I like it a little bit better. It might take a while to get used to, because you can definitely lose control of it a lot faster. And actually guys, before we actually move on, just a reminder, this is in testing. That's why it's looking like this. That's why it's in this weird map. That's why there's only 5 cars you can use this with. It is still in testing. There's still a lot to change. That's why they're letting you test it, so you can give feedback to them, so you can help mold this chassis, if you will. You can help decide what is good and what is bad about this new chassis. So definitely test it out, because you can help shape the future of this chassis, which I think is really cool. But back to testing this out. So going around these sharp corners, it does feel pretty nice. It does feel really responsive. Speeding up, I sort of feel like it goes a little bit faster. Maybe that's because I haven't driven the Ford GT in a while, and it's just mainly turning. Turning is very different. Just, I'm not holding down B anymore, and you can still see little skid marks that happen even when I'm not holding down B. So it does seem like there's a lot of less traction with this car. Not as much traction as the old chassis that we're all used to. So maybe this chassis will take a little bit longer to get used to, because you can, by the looks of things, lose control of this car, well, this chassis, a lot more. I don't know if it's just the Ford GT. We'll have to test it out. But now I think we are going to move on to the actual track. So I'm going to drive back over there, and I'm going to start the track where I'm guessing you're meant to start it. right over here. So we are actually at high speeds. This is actually a really good time to test out the high speeds because it's very straight, and it says we're not meant to lose control at high speeds anymore. Well, it's going to be easier not to, and I can agree with that. I'm turning. Normally, I think we would have spun out a long time ago, and this is actually really cool because in the old chassis, going around that corner, I think we would have spun out. I think we would have stopped there. I think we would have lost control pretty quickly there. So this is actually really nice. Going at high speeds just feels really nice. It feels like you have a lot more control, and you can go them high speeds. You don't have to slow down for corners, which I feel like you did in the old chassis. You had to slow down a lot more than this. I mean, we're going over 100 miles per hour around that corner, and we made it round just fine. Even this going around 140 or 130 around this corner, I can keep control of the car and not spin out. That is a huge plus. But if you want to test this chassis out for yourself, like I said at the start of the video, the link to play this game will be in the description. If you are watching this in the far future, it already might be closed or it might be out. So I don't know how long they are going to keep this testing open for. So play it right now. Play it while you still can. Test it out for yourself. Throw some improvements at the developers. Say what you think needs changing. And you can make this chassis a whole lot better because they need a lot of testers. They want to get this chassis right because it is obviously Ultimate Driving is a driving game and they want to get the chassis done right. And I feel like the driving and the chassis is something that Ultimate Driving has needed a refresh for a little while now, and it's good that they're finally doing it. It's awesome, and I feel like they want to really get it right. So help them out, guys. Play this game, send them feedback. But right now, I think they have absolutely nailed the high speed of this chassis. Just driving around these corners, going really fast is just something, a luxury to do in Ultimate Driving because, like I said, you spin out so easily in the old chassis. I've experienced it a lot when racing in my streams and in my videos, but now at 130 going around this corner, it's like a dream come true. You don't spin out, you can have so much more fun with this chassis. It's really nice. Racing is now a huge thing in Ultimate Driving, and now that they're nailing a chassis which allows you to go really fast around corners is a massive step up. It's gonna make this game a whole lot more fun, and I can't actually wait until they add this into the main game so we can test it out with every single car in the actual proper map to see how it does in just everyday scenarios. We can't fully test it out right now, obviously, because it is a scaled down map of actual Westover and all the other maps, so we can't fully test it out right now, but we can never. This track is the longest track in Ultimate Driving, I think, so this is really cool to test this out now to drive it. It is awesome if they added a track like this permanently, because it's super fun, it's super long. It could be a cool race to do. It'd be cool if they added this in Ultimate Driving in any way, shape or form. Maybe attach it to Westover, attach it to any other map. It'd just be cool to see this long of a track in Ultimate Driving. And I mean, this track as well, it has every single perfect thing for this chassis. It has straight areas, it has sharp corners, it just has wide corners which are really fun to drive around. It has everything to perfectly test this chassis, which is really awesome, and I really like it. And I've been going for like 5 minutes on this track now, and I still can't see the end. It's super long, but it's definitely put this chassis to the test, and I'm really liking it. It's just really fun to drive. One complaint was back in Westover when it span out just a little bit too easily, I think. You could really lose control going low speeds, which is funny. You can lose control pretty easily going low speeds, but at high speeds, it's really hard to lose control. I haven't lost control. I haven't crashed once going high speeds, going around these corners. I have not lost control. I have not crashed, and that is really rare for me to say. So this chassis is really good. Alrighty guys, so we are actually finally coming to the end now, and after driving that really long track, I'm just going to say I think this chassis brings a lot of improvements, or it is going to bring a lot of improvements to the Ultimate Driving universe. It's going to help a lot of new players, I think, because it'll stop them from crashing, it'll stop them from raging, I guess, and it'll just bring a ton more fun of driving to both new players and older players, because I've had so much fun. That is probably the most fun driving in Ultimate Driving I've had since playing this game. It's super fun to drive. So like I said, I would really recommend you guys checking it out. There's only 2 other people playing it, which is not a lot to say how much fun this chassis actually is and how much you can actually help to shape this chassis and how it will become in the future. I hope you did enjoy this video. I'm going to end it off here. If you did find it helpful, enjoy it, then smash the like button, guys, so it gets out there and other people can see it, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people might not even know this exists. Might not even know that you can test this brand new chassis that they're working on. So definitely check it out. It's absolutely free. You don't even have to pay to enter the testing. And like I said, there is a free car. So even if you don't have any of them cars that was in the dealership, there is a free one. You can still test out the chassis. A little bit of a slower car, but it's still there to test out. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're make sure you have subscribed, because I'll be doing a video on this once the actual official chassis is out, and we can actually compare it and how it's changed from the testing compared to when it is officially out. There's no set date for when this chassis will be out in the main game. Hopefully it'll be soon. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.